Welcome to our lecture on clearing mechanism. So let me just write it down for you. Clearing mechanism. Now it's quite a theoretical concept, and what I'll try and do is I'll try and explain you this whole concept with the help of certain charts. So before we go any further on this, I would want you to recall who are the clearing members, because the clearing mechanism starts from your clearing members. So if you recall clearing members, there were two types of clearing members that we had. One was a TCM and the other was a PCM. The TCM was the trading cum clearing member who could trade as well. So the trading cum clearing, and the PCM was the professional clearing member who just acted as a clearing member. Now, clearing mechanism quite clearly has only one role, and that is that it studies the open positions of TCM and the PCM. So the whole concept of clearing mechanism is basically to study the open positions of these TCM and PCM. So that's what it is, and that is what precisely a clearing mechanism is. So in a clearing mechanism, whenever we are studying, we're just going to look at all the open positions of TCM and the PCM. What I'll quickly do is we'll have to further study how this is done, and I'll open another chart for you for that purpose. So let's just have a look at now a CM's role. Let me just use another ink for that purpose. Now, when we're talking of a clearing member, you might recall that clearing member has a lot of trading members associated with him, right? So let me just say TM1, TM2 and TM3. Right, so there are a lot of trading members who are associated with a clearing member. Now, similarly, a trading member would either have, if you remember, a pro call or a CLE call. Now, the pro call was nothing but the proprietary call. Whatever the trader is trading for himself or herself. And the CLE call was nothing but the clients that they have. So the calls of the clients. Right? So when you study the open positions of a clearing member, we have to see the number of trading members who are associated with the clearing member, and then go down and study the number of proprietary calls of a trading member and the number of client orders of a trading member. Right? So I'm quite sure that this is a very simple way of just remembering what exactly happens. Now, let's just take example of TM3 and have a look at how this is done. Right, so what we are saying is, let's say TM3 has one pro call, a pro order, and let's say CLE orders of X and a client order of Y. Now, under the proprietary thing, we're not looking at the price here, we're just saying that he's gone long on 20 contracts and he's gone short on 40 contracts. Right? Similarly for CLE X, he's gone long on 40 contracts and short on 20 contracts. And for CLE Y or the client Y, he's gone long on 20 contracts and short on, let's say, 40 contracts. Now, because we have to look at the aggregate open position under the clearing mechanism, we can easily say that if you irrespective of whether it's a long or a short, there are 20 open positions here, right? Although it's minus 20 because pro is 20 short, you'll see that Cli X is 20 long, so, and Cli Y is again 20 short. But when you're looking at open positions, we will not consider whether it's a 20 long or a 20 short. What we'll just say is that the aggregate open position of TM3, who's, let's say, reporting to the CM in our case, the clearing member, the aggregate open position is 20, 20 and 20, which is nothing but very simply 60, right? So you can see that it is 20 plus 20 plus 20 or 60 open contracts. Now if you have to see this in USD terms, we'll say 60 into 1000 or 60,000 USD worth open contracts, right? Because 1000 is the size of one contract. So I'll quickly just say that in clearing mechanism, what we're trying to study is the open position of every clearing member, and a clearing member consists of the trading members which are consolidated within him. A trading member would have orders of like a proprietary orders and the client orders. The pro orders are the Cli orders, and we've taken an example of TM3 who had 20 short orders, client X who were 20 long orders, and client Y who were 20 short orders again. And what we are saying is that the aggregate open position still remains 60, which is 20 plus 20 plus 20, right? So this is 60 open positions. If we are looking at USD terms, we are just saying 60 into 1000 or 60,000 USD is the open position. That is all that is there to a clearing mechanism. What we can do further is we can take another example to illustrate the same thing, and let's do that. Let's take another example of another trading member and show you how exactly it might work. So what we say is, let's say in our case we now have a trading member X, right? So trading member X. So on day 1, the pro position of the trading member, and I'll put now here buy and sell. Buy you would mean is going long, sell you would understand is going short, right? So the buy position for trading member X under the pro, which is his proprietary, is, let's say, 20 contracts of 1000 rupees each into, let's say, the price is 40 at which. So he has 20 contracts and bought at 40, and similarly sell 40 at, let's say, 40.10, right? So that is the buy and the sell order position of TMX on day 1. Now he has 2 clients, let's say, and let's put the clients in green. So Cli 1, whose buy order position is 40 into 1000 into, let's say, at 40 again, and the sell order position is 20 into 1000 into, let's say, 39.5. Now you please remember and recall that 1000 is nothing but the contract size, right? And let's take another example of Cli 2, client 2 on day 1, whose positions are 60 into 1000 into 39 point, let's say, 5 and 20 into 1000 into 40, right? So if you have to now calculate the open positions, it is quite simple. and the open positions would be, for him, he's got 20 contracts open at 40 and 40 contracts open at 40 point thing. So let's just say he's got 20 long and 40 short. So he is minus 20, which basically means he is 20 short. Similarly, this gentleman is 40 long and 20 short, or he is simply 20 long. And this gentleman, Cli 2, is nothing but 60 long and 20 short. So he is very simply 40 long. Now the aggregate open position. So the aggregate open position AOP is 40, 20, 20 or 80. Right? We will not consider whether it's short or long. We will just say that the aggregate open position is 80. And that is precisely what we are trying to study in this clearing mechanism. Just to make a little complication, perhaps what can happen is a question might come that with similar thing, but they might say that on day 2 client 1 and client 2 repeat their orders, but there was no order in proprietary position. So what you will just do is you will say 80 in that case, you will double this up, you will double this up, and you will add 280. So something like this. So very simply, in fact, a clearing mechanism is a very simple concept. I'm just quickly recapturing whatever has been taught at clearing mechanism. So a clearing mechanism, as I said earlier, it consists of nothing but TCM and PCM. They would have a lot of TMs. A professional clearing member is just a clearing member, so a lot of, let's say, TMs who are working under them, who are consolidated under them. There would be pro calls and there would be Cli calls, right? And what we need to do is we just need to study the aggregate open contracts of pro and the Clis, and then you consolidate further for the complete hierarchy to get the clearing members open position. And that is precisely what a clearing mechanism is, right? I do hope that you have been able to understand clearing mechanism. If you have not, just go through the video once again, and I am quite sure you will be able to figure it out. Thank you very much. See you very soon.